Namaste, yogis, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you guys who sent kind words of encouragement for what I'm going through right now with my left knee being fully blown, my ACL as a grade 3 full tear, so I'm going to need surgery, and that has been putting me down lately. So you guys definitely motivated me to come out today and do a great Yin Yoga class with you guys. So thank you for that. It's really uplift my spirit, and I'm happy to do so with you guys. So let's start right away. And for today's class, all you're going to need is 2 blocks. And we're going to start in the butterfly position. So bringing the sole of our feet together in front of us. You can keep about a 1 foot distance between your groin and your heels here. And you can place the blocks on top of your feet just to kind of create a little tower here for your head to support itself as we go down. So placing our hands on the floor, lengthening the spine here, closing your eyes. You can take 1 big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our fingertips forward until we lower ourselves down. And you can place your forehead to rest on top of your blocks here. Remembering to drop your shoulder blades down. Do not shrug up into your neck here. You want to keep everything relaxed as you settle calmly into stillness here. It is a beautiful fall day here again in Canada today. I'm able to be in a t-shirt, and it's just so beautiful. I needed to get out and just enjoy the day. So I'm going to invite you today to work on the same theme as me, which is just to uplift your mood. So let's just enjoy how this feels, and let's thank ourselves for taking the time to do something for us once more today. And as you settle into this, you can move 1 block aside, lowering yourself down even more. Really working on opening up your inner groin here using gravity. And on your next exhale, you can walk your hands back, raising your upper torso and slowly coming out of the position here. So for our next position, we're going to transition into deer pose. So we're going to make a 90-degree angle towards the front of our yoga mat here with the left leg. And then the right leg will come into a 90-degree angle here. And from here, we're going to go into twisted deer pose. So turning to the left, placing our hands on the floor here, we're going to take one big inhale. And on the exhale, I'm going to invite you to turn your upper torso facing towards the front of your yoga mat here, going into a twist. And from here, we're going to take one big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to lower ourselves down onto our forearms. If you want, again, you can use the blocks, which I always like to use for support for my head. This allows me to find stillness and stability within the posture. So I'm going to invite you to do the same if you wish to. And as you settle into the position, you might find that you can now go all the way down to the floor like me. So feel free to do so if your body allows you to. This feels really good for the spine. And we can push ourselves back up very slowly. And then on your next exhale, untwisting the upper torso here. And we can bring the right leg in front of us, rolling back onto our glutes here and making our way to the other side. So again, just move very slowly and very gently here. You don't want to be forcing anything that could hurt. In my case, my left knee here, I'm being ultra careful throughout every movement. But I'm still able to do some yin with you guys, which I appreciate dearly. So from here, both hands on the floor, we're going to go into twisted deer pose towards the right this time. So let's do one big inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to bring the left hand in front of us here, turning into the pose. And then one big inhale here. Exhale, lowering ourselves down onto our forearms. Settling into the pose here. Again, if you have the block nearby, you can use it to support your forehead. Or you can simply wait for your body to open up so you can go much lower into the pose. And if your body allows you to, feel free to bring your forehead to rest on the floor here. Spreading your elbows wide enough to find support so you can stay in this position and hold stillness. And when you're ready, you can push yourself back up, walking your hands back. And then from here, creating some space, I'm gonna invite you to push yourself up with your left leg and coming on to all fours here. So we're just gonna find our blocks and bring them in front of us. So we're gonna do something different. We're gonna go into Sphinx pose here, but using the blocks on top of our thighs to really stretch our hip flexors as we go down. So let's place our blocks here in front of us on the yoga mat. And I'm going to invite you to walk your hands in front of you. And then coming off your knees, we're going to land the blocks onto your thighs and lower yourself down here on your stomach, onto your elbows with the hands facing down onto the floor here. So this will accentuate what you feel in your low back. And it's also creating some space by pulling onto your hip flexors, creating more space in that area to relieve tension from sitting down for too long. If this is too uncomfortable for your low back, by all means you can take the blocks off. But it's a nice variation to try, especially for those of you who've been doing Yin Yoga with me for a while. So let's close our eyes and just enjoy how that feels. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to lower yourself down onto your stomach. And then placing your hands in line with your shoulder, we're just going to push ourselves up and back until our knees touch the floor here and we can release the blocks from underneath. So from here, we're going to come to wide knee child's pose. So we're going to bring our knees to the edges of our yoga mat, touching our big toes together. And I'm going to invite you to place the blocks in front of you as we're going to stretch our shoulders into this beautiful asana in a moment. So lengthening the spine here, taking one big inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to invite you to walk your hands forward, landing your forearms onto the block, and then just lowering yourself down here, using the blocks to stretch your shoulders, your upper back, bring your forehead to rest on the floor, trying to keep your glutes in contact with your heels, and just enjoying how this feels as we settle once more with our breath,
finding stillness and finding relaxation. And we can slowly push ourselves back up outside of this beautiful asana here. Closing your knees and really just taking your time here to come all the way up onto your knees. Taking a few breaths, enjoying the scenery if you are outdoors like me. Taking a moment to reset here. And I'm gonna invite you to just put the blocks aside for now, coming onto all four, untucking the toes here. We're gonna push through our hands and legs, lifting our hips up and going into downward facing dog here. Keeping a slight bend in your knees if you find that your hamstrings are really tight. Pushing through your shoulders, shoulder blades. And then coming back down onto all fours here. We're going to take one big inhale, untucking our toes. Inhale, lifting the leg up and back. Exhale, we're gonna swing that left leg forward into a 90-degree angle. And then we're gonna use the blocks for support as we go into dragon pose here. So for me, I definitely need the blocks for support since my left knee is injured. You want to be moving your hips forward and down, feeling that deep stretch in your hip flexors, your groin area, dropping your shoulder blades back and reconnecting with your breath here. And on your next exhale, you can slowly move your hips back, going into a gentle hamstring stretch here for the left leg, releasing all that stretching that was at the front of your right hip here. So this feels really good as a counter stretch. And we can bring that left leg back onto all fours here. So placing the blocks in front of us once more. From here, we're going to take one big inhale, raising the right leg up and back. Exhale, we're going to swing it forward into a 90-degree angle. Then using the blocks for support as we move our hips forward and down, going into dragon pose. Once more here. And on your next exhale, you can slowly move your hips back, releasing the left hip flexor, walking the blocks back here and going into a gentle hamstring stretch here on the right side. And we can release that right leg whenever you're ready here. Placing the blocks aside and going onto your glutes. We're just going to open up the flesh of our glutes on both sides here, sitting up straight. We're going to be going into caterpillar here. So from this position, lengthening the spine, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, focusing on the sensations in your hamstring. Big inhale. Exhale, walking your fingertips forward, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to chest, and finding your first point of resistance. When you feel enough stretching that it is slightly uncomfortable but not too much, I'm gonna ask you to reconnect with your breath once you find that spot and just breathe through the posture as you are focusing on softening up into it. You might want to grab your big toes with your fingers if that helps you to lean forward into a deeper stretch once you have softened up into the posture. And we can slowly release, walking our hands back,
raising our upper torso. You can wiggle your legs here a little bit. Taking some deep breath, relaxing for a moment. And coming to the center of your yoga mat here, I'm just going to invite you to grab a block and lower yourself down onto your backs. Placing your legs in a 90-degree angle here, we're going to lift our hips up and place a block at the base of our spine here, extending our legs in front of us and going into supported bridge. So your shoulder blades should be firmly planted on the floor, the back of your head as well. The back of your hand should be touching on both sides, and then resting your lower body weight on the ball of your feet. On your heels mainly, sorry. And we can bring our knees to a 90-degree angle,
firmly planting our feet on the floor. And we're going to slowly push through our heels, lifting our hips up, making some space to take the block out of the way and lower our backs onto the floor. So from here, we're going to take one big inhale. And on the exhale, I'm going to invite you to bring your knees towards your chest. And we're just going to be hugging the knees here, which feels really good for the low back. And you might want to wiggle left or right here, massaging your low back very gently. So let's just hold this position. And we can slowly release the hold here, bringing our feet back to the floor. You might want to wiggle your hips left to right here, which feels really good for your hip socket, for your low back. I really like to do the windshield wiper motion in between asanas sometimes. And when you're ready, you can bring the right foot here just underneath the left knee and on top of it. And then we're going to open up our hip. And then through the hole that we created here, we're going to bring our hands through and hold the back of our left knee here, or the top of it, whatever feels best for you. You want to be pulling on that left knee towards your chest. So this is reclined pigeon pose. You should feel a deep stretch in your right glute. So let's just hold this while we reconnect with our breath and find stillness once more. And as usual, we can slowly release the posture, bring the left foot back to the floor, uncrossing the legs here. And very slowly, once you're ready, you can take a little moment here just to catch a few deep breaths. So when you're ready, you can bring the left heel on top of the right knee and just underneath here on the top of your thigh, opening up that left leg here, creating an opening. We're just gonna drive our hands through the opening and then hold on to the right knee as we pull the right leg towards our chest here, going into reclined pigeon pose. And you should feel a deep stretch into your left glute this time. And when you're ready, you can bring the right foot back to the ground here, releasing the left leg from being crossed. And I'm gonna invite you to extend your legs in front of you. We're gonna bring the back of our head to the floor and then the back of our hands going into Savasana here. So let's scan our body for any tension that is left, and then focusing on using the breath through Savasana to soften up those last bit of tensions that we have. So I'm gonna let you do that on your own time. Deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale through the nose, sending the tension away and into the air. So when you're ready, you can slowly come out of the position on your own time, joining me back into the seated position.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this Yin Yoga class with me today. I hope it did succeed into uplifting your mood. It certainly did for me, and it's kind of, I was able to forget that I have a knee injury throughout this class by feeling barely any pain. So that made me feel really good. And thanks guys for all your support. Thanks for all of you who are giving me donations here and there. I'm gonna place my hands on the heart. I'm gonna wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the next class. So take care of yourselves and have a wonderful week. Namaste. Bye.